I didn't know that he actually clicked it.
Oh.
I don't know what I thought was happening.
Oh.
I thought we still had time. But that's
okay. Welcome back to the What a Time podcast. This is season 2, episode 3, and the second episode that we're doing our parables, or well, not our parables, but reading Jesus's parables and talking about them and everything. So yeah,
stories.
Okay, I feel like I'm.
Yeah, you are kind of in the corner.
Why am I like?
Maybe you're like catty corner.
It's like I forgot. I forgot. It's because I missed 1 week and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh, Natalie's back this week.
It's because we talked about sitting in a W. She's just.
Oh yeah. You good?
Because I don't know where to put my legs now. Something isn't right. It's okay.
So,
They need to put a like blinding.
Yeah, imagine like a sensor bar.
Now that your knee was in the screen, you need to put like a sensor bar.
Exposed. That's actually insane. Sorry.
All right.
Imagine my knee causing someone to stumble.
That's crazy.
That's not my problem. That's not my problem. That's not his parable.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Parable of the knee. Okay. Does someone want to start off in prayer?
I will, because I can't.
Yeah, I can.
Every time we go to pray.
Every time. Every time.
Are you too ready?
Yes. Let's talk to Jesus. I'm sorry.
Okay. Jesus, thank you for another week that we were able to get together. Thank you that we are all able to do this together again, and open our eyes and minds to new things in this parable that we didn't even notice when we were looking at it. Help us to word things the way that you want them to be worded. Use us and deposit whatever needs to be deposited and help people to hear what they need to hear, not even just what we say, but what you want them to get out of this. Make our thoughts clear and just do what you need to do. In your name, amen.
Amen. So, we're starting off with the game.
Yeah, you know what game you want to play?
The game that we always play.
His face dropped. I couldn't even see his face, and I could feel it.
Well, we've played 2 games now. We played the numbers game, and then we played
Saying the same word or something.
Meld. I don't know if that's the actual name of it, but that's what I'm going to call it. Let me get out of that.
Let's do the number game.
I know. I was like, "What you doing over there?" She's still car shopping.
I'm not really shopping. Just looking at that one. It's fine.
Oh my word!
Okay.
I need that picture. I know the fact that it says church.
Well, that was when I first got his number.
He has everyone in parentheses as church.
Oh yeah, I have people like in parentheses like work, church.
I think that's goofy.
Why?
Like Carter. It's Zach's friend.
Oh,
Still, like from when I first got his number and everything. Yeah.
Poor Carter.
I change people's names all the time on my phone, and then I forget.
I'm
like, I don't know who this person is.
I update pictures. Like I put pictures
I love
and like
updating
people
pictures.
that I like frequently like talk to and everything.
I love updating the phone pictures.
Yeah. So who wants to guess?
I think you should.
Okay, I'll guess.
I was just okay. He's okay, I guess.
Okay, what's our number?
Let me know for real this time so I don't see it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we're good, Ethan.
Okay. All right, Marky, I'm gonna start with you. Let's go with a food to order at Cheesecake Factory.
This is a good one for that.
This is a good one.
That's good.
Oh, I don't know.
It won't be
Appetizer.
I've never been there.
Yeah.
Appetizer.
Okay.
Just in.
Just an appetizer.
Let's see. Gosh, it's always difficult for these stupid questions.
I like can't say anything. I looked at her shoulders. Imagine if she started saying, so "Are you gonna decide already?" I'm like,
Ask your questions, Ethan.
really?
He's gonna ask
Courtney.
me, like, oh no.
They start crying. I'm like, I have no idea.
I just had it. Oh yeah, a flavor of ice cream.
Mint chocolate chip.
Oh okay.
That's about
Let's
it.
see.
Very valid.
I'm done with this game when we're playing because I was like, that's a good answer, even though inside I'm like, that's dumb. That doesn't match my own personal beliefs. Good answer. Good
That's
answer.
what's rough about this is it's your own personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like where I would rank something could be like literally polar opposite of someone else.
Yeah, literally. Okay. Not a pair of shoes that you own.
Oh.
Should I start crying?
I like all of them.
I know what
I
you
can't hurt their feelings.
You know which ones I should say?
Yeah.
Not that you should. That's wild.
I don't know if you still have them.
Just because I literally never wear them, I have a pair of. Oh, I'm such an idiot.
No, keep going.
What?
No, keep going. Keep going. This is fine. This is okay. Keep going. This can be salvaged.
I'm gonna start crying.
I'm so good. What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You'll understand later.
Nothing.
Okay.
This can be salvaged. You got it.
I'm so confused.
It's okay. You got it.
I have a pair of Air Max 90s
Okay.
that have like neon colors on them.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to Google that one.
I'm picturing them in my head. I'll show them to you.
Okay.
I've
What
had
color?
them for a long time.
What color are
No,
they?
you can't ask double questions.
She said neon.
I'll ask it about
She said
the.
neon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like-
but what color
You
neon?
can't ask her any other
Okay.
questions.
You can't. ask
I'll
double
show you what they
questions.
look like.
Okay.
I'm about to
It's
look
gonna
them
give
up
you
right
too
now.
many answers. Literally give you no answers at all.
I'm so confused. Okay. Kayla.
Yes.
I'm sweating.
That was a big stress now.
Uh,
95% of the podcast is us laughing. The other
yeah,
half is us going.
literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole episode. Just us giggling. Eating like,
Okay. A song.
You'll fill in it.
A worship song. A worship.
a worship song.
Oh,
You already know what you would say.
yes.
Me too.
Man, a worship song.
I want to give you a hint because as soon as I said it felt like you would know.
Oh no. I don't want to hear what your hint is, but man, this is difficult.
That may not be true though.
I feel like that would be though.
For me personally, probably not. It's the way that you just looked for a second. I was like, oh, well, maybe it would be. Man,
I'm sending you my hint.
that's good because I'm actually going through my phone, my Spotify right now because I can't think of one.
Can't think of your favorite.
Yeah. Can I say that?
No, you have to say more exact.
Oh no, not more exact.
I mean, Rocky said appetizer. So.
True, Rocky did say appetizer.
Favorite type of food. The
I
type.
Yes.
I know there's a whole lot, but
there really is. There really is. I can't think of the actual name of it, so I'm gonna go with.
You're gonna sing it?
No.
So instead, I'm gonna sing a song.
Copyright right here, right now.
Is it bleeping out?
Just a long
We do
bleep.
not own the rights to
yeah.
The He's Alive song. I think we did it once.
It's called He's Alive.
Oh, just kidding. He's Alive.
I've never heard of that.
Yes, you
You
have.
have.
Has like 25 key changes in it.
Right.
Right.
What's a keychain?
What's a keychain?
Yeah, I have a keychain
It's-
on my.
No, that's a
Oh,
keychain.
okay.
Keychain is where it
Change.
goes like
Oh.
starts really low and then
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's Alive. For sure.
Okay. I'm gonna say. Okay.
Please.
I have seen those.
Yes.
I have seen those.
Oh, I can't see them?
Okay,
Okay.
no, you can't.
Not yet.
I'm gonna say 3. What was it?
0.
Because at first I thought I was gonna say 2. Damn.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I literally said this. I said,
What?
just because I never wear them.
Oh,
If
you
I
did.
don't wear them, it's because I don't like them.
I had heard
And
that. I would have
as
taken
soon
it
as
as like, oh, these are like a really
Oh,
nice shoe. She
God.
never wears
How-
them.
how did I
immediately
miss that?
went one.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
Don't
Okay,
even
look.
guess anymore.
Just
They're
because I never wear them.
Ew.
And I've
Okay,
literally
I
had
actually
them.
like those.
I've had them for
For a long
years.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Oh.
literally- they were like these were like
Some
my
of your
like
first
introduction
ones.
pair to
Ew.
like these were like my first like
I like the Air Max 90s, but the colors.
the color.
Ugh.
I never wear them. Well, and now they're
childhood
dingy.
era.
Okay,
I have
makes
a
sense.
question. Is that game supposed to be 1 to 10? And we
Yeah.
just
that's fine.
Okay,
We
we're-
just created it.
Okay, because here I was like, guys, I think we broke the game. I was so excited, like, we have 0. And then as I'm sitting here, I'm like, man, he never would have guessed 0 because that's not part of the game. Never mind. Sorry. My
Okay.
bad, my B.
All right, time to go over a parable. Read a parable. Yeah,
Okay.
we are
Some
going
is so
to.
short.
I know. I'm almost positive it's the shortest one.
You picked it on purpose.
No,
He's like, I want to go home today.
I did. Did I pick this one?
Mm-hmm.
You brought it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You did.
I guess I
And then
did.
Rocky said, oh, I have a mustard seed. And that's how we got here.
Oh, so
Rocky has
there we
mustard.
go.
I didn't know that.
so we
He's got
are
a mustard tree.
going to be reading over the parable of the mustard seed.
Right here in this crack. Here's a
every
Water
week,
it
every week we see the progress.
So this parable, funny enough, this is only 2 verses long, which I think is wild because from what I've read and everything like that, and like really reading into it and like doing some research.
Or
Oh,
the
well, NLT has.
no, in Matthew it's only 2, and Mark it's a little longer.
Oh, you're right.
They're gonna shrubs. We're gonna grow a shrub. Mustard
did say
seeds don't
mustard
grow on
trees.
trees. Just look it up. They grow into shrubs.
She looked up a mustard shrub.
Sorry.
What a mustard
I'm so
seed
sorry.
grows.
Yeah, because I said mustard tree, and then I was like, I don't know if they actually turn into trees. They just turn into shrubs.
It became the largest of the garden plants.
It grows into a tree.
Branches. Birds
Is
can
what
make nests.
NLT says.
Oh,
Anyway,
It's also in Luke too.
Anyway,
Sorry.
anyways,
I take full responsibility.
I have
for
the
that.
Matthew.
My bad,
I have the
Matthew.
Matthew one. You have
I
the
have the
Mark
Mark
one.
one.
Oh, I have Matthew pulled up.
NLT, NIV, NLT. I'm assuming, right?
You guys have Matthew.
King James.
Mark.
actually.
Imagine.
Or I'm walking it.
What even is it in King
The
James?
message.
Oh Lord.
Thou shalt.
I don't even have that one.
Probably shouldn't say
Be
that
a
on the
mustard
podcast. We're about to get canceled.
No,
weird.
okay, hang on. But I already saw the first, and he spake. That's enough for me to.
Oh gosh.
What does that mean? The tares?
He spake.
Another parable put he forth. No, wait.
Lord.
Okay, here's the
That's
mustard
why
seed.
in Luke it's only 2 verses.
I was gonna say yeah, in Luke it's only 2.
But it talks about it twice.
That's not
in
that
Luke.
bad.
And becometh a
Oh.
tree. Yeah, that one's not bad. It just ends with thereof.
There,
So okay, you said what? You have the Luke one?
Luke 13, 18 through 19. It's also only 2 verses there. So, I think that's wild.
Okay. Do we want to read from all 3 or just one? Just
do all 3.
okay. So, all right, I'll read Matthew 13, verse 31 and 32. And it says, in the NLT version, and it says, here's another illustration Jesus used. The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed planted in a field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but becomes the largest of garden plants. It grows into a tree, and birds come and make nests in its branches.
Luke 13, 18 through 19 in the NLT says, Then Jesus said, What is the kingdom of God like? How can I illustrate it? It is like a tiny mustard seed that a man planted in a garden. It grows and becomes a tree, and the birds make nests in its branches.
And then Mark 4, 30 through 32, Jesus said, how can I describe the kingdom of God? What story should I use to illustrate it? It is like a mustard seed planted in the ground. It is the smallest of all seeds, but it becomes the largest of all garden plants. It grows long branches, and birds can make nests in its shade.
Okay, I just realized something.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how it doesn't grow into a tree, it grows into a shrub. But I saw when I was looking up, oh, it's gone now. But when because I cleared out of it. But when I was looking up, does a mustard seed grow into a tree? It said no, but a lot of people will mistake it for a tree because it's so large, and it specifies in here the largest of garden plants. So technically not a tree, but it's so
Big enough,
large.
Yeah,
not
but
a
you
tree,
don't-
but big enough to be a tree.
And you don't
Yeah.
really think of like an apple tree as a garden plant. You
Right.
think of it as a tree.
But like in its category of garden plants, like
or like a tomato,
It's the
you think of that as
largest.
a plant.
right. So next to those, it's
Yeah, something that immediately stood out to me, like while reading this, it said, "And birds come and make nests in its branches." Now I don't know why, but like I just feel like that I don't even know what I was about to say. Like it's like that part is like important only in the sense because he's describing the kingdom of heaven as a mustard seed. It's the smallest of all seeds, but becomes the largest of garden plants. And birds come and make nests in its branches. Like so, like we almost like home ourselves. Like imagine if we're the birds, right? And the kingdom of heaven is the tree, right, or the shrub, or whatever we're calling it.
Yeah,
Like
the
we were
branches
like
in which we make our nests.
yes, like we are homing ourselves. Like that is where we reside. That is where we live. That is like all of our protection. You said like like about the shade and everything. Our protection and everything like that is all sourced from that
Yeah.
that tree shrub.
And probably so are the things that we use to build our nest. Like aren't nests made of like
Sticks
twigs
and- yeah.
and stuff? So surely that would come from the shrub, tree,
Yeah.
whatever. So not only are we making a home in heaven,
We're
the place
using
where we are resting is also heaven. So
yeah, that's good.
I will say that when we first started talking about reading this one, originally I was taken to Luke 17, where it says, "If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, be uprooted and planted in the sea, and it will obey you." And that's why I was reading at first. And then as we were talking, I was like, I don't think that's when they talk about. That is surely not a parable.
Yeah,
Jesus
but I mean,
just
it's
said
also
to do that.
yeah. I mean, that also ties exactly into what this is. It's like there's two. What's the word? Like two like looks into like what the mustard seed represents type thing. Like a mustard seed of faith can do things, and like the mustard seed is like describing the kingdom of heaven. If that makes sense. So
Does that mean that the kingdom of heaven is small and will become big? Or I don't know. I'm looking
I mean,
at
if
the
we think of
mustard
like how many people or like the angels and stuff that are there now, then once we're all there.
See, I think
That's
I
wild.
take it as like when it's talking about planted in a field, like think about when you're a Christian and if you're surrounded by like unbelievers, when you start to evangelize to them and share your faith and that type of stuff, it will start to spread. And so like the kingdom of heaven, that's like what you're building, what we're literally here to do on earth. There are fewer of us who are believers and are here for what we were created for. And so as we share and spread, the kingdom of heaven grows as more believers come to Christ.
Which makes sense because the parable of the growing seed is above that. And then he says the kingdom of God is like a farmer who scatters seeds on the ground night and day. While he's asleep or awake, the seed sprouts and grows, but he does not understand how it happens. The earth produces the crop on its own. First a leaf blade pushes through, then the heads of wheat are formed, and finally the grain ripens. And as soon as the grain is ready, the farmer comes and harvests it with a sickle, for the harvest time has come. And then it says, Jesus said, how can I describe the kingdom of God? So if we are like the farmers, if he was comparing the farmer to us, and then we have the seeds, the knowledge of God, and we spread it, then you don't understand how it happened. You aren't even paying attention, and then it starts sprouting.
Yeah, because then even the one underneath, it's like he used the three different illustrations, because then the one underneath is the parable of the yeast.
Right.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. The kingdom of heaven is like the yeast a woman used in making bread. Even though she put only a little yeast and 3 measures of flour, it permeated every part of the dough. So it's kind of like the same idea.
I think this was just like an example that like the disciples needed, but like we need now of small little acts
Yeah.
can grow into, and also to like remind us that the small acts are just as important. Like if you're doing stuff that's not seen, like that is just as important as
Yeah.
Because again, it is the smallest of all seeds, but becomes the largest of garden plants. Yeah, that's good.
I was reading the Message version while we were talking. It doesn't say mustard seed. It says acorn.
acorn.
Yeah.
Where's they get that from?
It says,
They
then
totally
he
changed
said,
it.
how can I picture God's kingdom for you? What kind of story can I use? It's like an acorn that a man plants in his front yard. It grows into a huge oak tree with thick branches, and eagles build nests in it. And then I forgot I was in the Message version. And then as you started reading, I was scrolling up and I was lost because I'm
It doesn't say the same.
in Luke 13.
Oh, I'm
And
in Mark 4.
yeah, and that makes so much sense now because mine says, "But Jesus shot back, you frauds!" Like, and I had to stop because I was like, "That's not what she's saying at all." I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus is a wild woman.
Imagine like in person being called a fraud by
Like,
Jesus.
By Jesus is
That is
crazy.
insane.
It's an exclamation point. It's
Like,
not
he's
just a
looking
period.
right
He's not
at
just saying,
you. He's
He's not like saying you fraud.
No,
he
he's
said,
like, you
You
frauds.
frauds.
Like,
And
wow.
he would know.
I would sit there being like,
Then he
It was
goes
like-
back to heaven and someone's like, "You
Yes.
fraud." I'm not a fraud. Jesus himself said it.
Yeah.
So yes, you are.
I think that's wild to think
That's
that people
funny.
were. I don't know. I think it's wild to think that people were living with Jesus and he's just casually like, "You frauds!" Like, and everyone's like, "Wow!" It's like watching your friend get scolded by their parent while you're like hanging out. With them.
No, it's so
Yeah, oh my, it
That's
really is.
Absolutely the worst.
Yeah.
You're just like,
And like once
As
he
soon
leaves,
as
when
they
you say,
leave.
"You fraud," like, you can joke about it then. That's crazy. Like, I don't know. That's what I thought of. Sorry, I was lost. My bad. I'm
That's
back.
okay.
I'm back on track.
So,
It's like an
Yeah.
acorn. I think that's crazy.
Hmm.
Oh, that took me too far. That's what it did.
where'd you say the mustard seed of faith was in?
I lost it.
There's one in Matthew 17.
That's probably where it was.
I think yours was Luke
17.
17.
1713, I think.
No.
Matthew 17:20.
Mm.
Or
It's
Luke
in-
17:6.
I love that the parables are in multiple places.
Yeah, I really think
I don't
it's
think I'm
cool.
ever going to get over that.
Yeah.
And to think that it's written from different
I was
perspectives.
gonna say, like, different accounts from different
Yeah.
people
who were all there.
who were all there.
Literally all there. And they were like, you know what? This was important enough for me to write down. Where Matthew was like, I don't need that.
Yeah.
That's not.
But also, like, if you think of if we were to write things, like, it's how we are with
Right.
the number game. Like,
yeah.
I said mint chocolate chip would be a 0, but for Natalie, that'd be in one of her, like, top ones.
See, I was on the same boat as you.
Yes. But, so then, if Natalie and I were to write about mint chocolate chip, like,
Yeah.
if we were to write about you, and you were like, we both would translate, like, I know you're like, ew, and Natalie's like, oh, maybe she's like, we would translate it different because of our perspectives. So
That's
then we
valid.
have different
I love that.
perspectives.
I think that's so cool, though.
I love that.
You want to show them that? See if the camera picks it up.
Probably not.
So there's two of
Gonna have to
them
get up.
in here.
Yeah, you're
One
going to
in
have to
each
get up and take
corner.
it straight to the camera. Yep.
Oh,
Oh, it's fuzzy. Not fuzzy.
it's.
You got to be like one of those
I don't think
makeup
it has
channels and just-
autofocus.
Yeah, I don't think it's
They're tiny.
Yeah.
See right there.
you can't see anything.
You can
Yeah.
see the baggie.
Yeah, like go to like the store and like or like just look them up like on how small they are. Like they are incredibly small. Like.
Natalie said she would have taken it to the computer.
I said more, but he's better than me because I walked him right up to the camera on the
Yeah.
laptop.
Like, that's,
She's like, do you see it down here?
that's so crazy. Like something
How do
that
I get it to
small,
move up here?
like just will grow into something
Yeah, so I was looking at stuff and it says that it can grow to 25 feet tall.
25 feet.
Oh,
That's crazy.
well, I googled it compared to a quarter.
Oh.
And I actually Googled compared to the camera. Not in a quarter. I was trying to look up a mustard seed compared to a quarter, but then we were talking about camera, so I
That's
typed
gonna
in
be-
camera.
And then you called it a penny.
Like,
Or
that's
no, then you
so
called a penny a
wild.
quarter.
Wow. Oh, and it still came up a penny. But that's wild. Look at that.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
If you guys want, you can look up a mustard seed compared to a quarter. It's gonna pull up a picture of a mustard seed compared to a penny. And I think that's pretty interesting.
Don't look it up compared to a penny. Just look it up a quarter and it'll give you a penny.
Or a camera, and it's still gonna show up.
Yeah, exactly.
But to see how small they are is insane.
Mhm. Yeah.
Wow. And to think it only takes that much faith.
I was about to say, like, in Matthew 17:20, I think you just, who read it? No one read this one, I don't think.
No.
I'll read it. In Matthew 17:20, it says, "You do not have enough faith." Jesus told them, "I tell you the truth. If you had the faith, even as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it would move. Nothing would be impossible." And I just, yeah, because obviously, like, whenever I hear about, like, the mustard seed, I immediately think not of the parable, but I think of this as like a mustard seed of faith. You can tell that mountain to move type thing. Like, and it's used in a bunch of, like, services as well. It's like, what is your mountain type thing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Dang.
Before that, they were trying to cast.
This
the demon
is
out.
crazy.
So they had okay. You just said that he had two little faith.
Yeah, it's wild.
You had too little faith, and all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed. So they had less faith.
Than that.
That's insane. And how often do we operate like that?
Thanks for watching.
Dude, look at this though. He literally says, "You faithless and corrupt people. How long must I be with you? How long must I put up with you?"
Put up with is insane.
Dang.
That's
so
wild.
But genuinely, how often do we, like,
We've gone way.
operate with
No, it's
less
not.
faith than this?
Less faith than what can be contained in a mustard seed.
And that's crazy.
That's insane. And yet we operate like that on a daily.
Dang.
Dang.
It really is on a
That's
daily.
it.
And I
Thanks for
think
watching.
what's interesting is like these two, like the parable and like talking about faith with mustard seed, they go together because if you don't have faith, even the
Right.
size of a mustard seed, you're not going to grow the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
And so nothing's going to happen. And so it is kind of all correlates together.
I think it's just wild that it only takes that much.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Something
all it takes.
like correlating like both of these is like we take the faith, the size of this, of a size, tiny little mustard seed, right?
Tiny little mustard
And
seed,
we go
smaller
back
than a
to,
penny.
sorry, I'm just
And a
gonna use
quarter
this.
and a candle.
We go back to, it says, but it becomes the largest of garden plants. Like this tiny little amount, right?
Yeah.
Of like taking a step of faith or doing something in faith, like something along the lines of that, it can turn into so much more than what we imagine, like what we can assume will come out of it type thing. Like if I get told, if I'm praying and God's like, hey, you need to quit your job today, I'm like, I know I just like refinanced my car, but like how am I going to make these payments? How am I going to like live in this world? Like, because everything costs all this money and everything. But like on the other side of it, there's a whole nother opportunity that will like be more beneficial to me type thing. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's what I got from like correlating to both of these. But yeah.
I just tried to Google how long does it take a mustard seed to grow, and I'm getting mixed results. It says that mustard seeds generally take 8 to 10 days to germinate if placed under the proper conditions, which include a cold atmosphere and relatively moist soil. And then it says something on how to grow mustard, and I have to believe that those are different things. But I think that's pretty nifty. That placed under the proper conditions. When you are using your faith
in a cold atmosphere,
Yeah.
the
But-
hearts are hard.
Yes,
But
and the
still,
moist and
with
the
more-
moistest soil. And the moistest soil. And the soil is moist where it's just probably dark and dingy.
Yeah.
faith that size will germinate, will start to develop
Grow.
roots.
80. Okay.
That's crazy.
Never mind.
Are you finding that?
I don't know what this means, but yellow mustard has a plant maturity of 85 to 90 days.
I don't think it's...
Are mustard seeds and yellow mustard the same?
It's a good question. I don't know.
What if you're putting all your... What if you're creating the wrong kind of mustard? I have
No,
a thought
because-
behind that, and it's gone. It just left me. It's gone now. Sorry.
Dang.
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay. But yeah. No, that's good.
1 to 2 millimeters is how big the mustard seed is. It goes 20 to 30 feet. It says as tall as 20 to 30 feet.
Feats with an S.
So can we trust that website?
It's from LinkedIn.
If it's saying feet, I believe it.
With branches and leaves spanning across another 20 feet. Circumference.
It's
Another
a
20
word.
feet.
I still think that is just absolutely wild.
So I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What does a mustard seed amount of faith look like to you?
See, I feel like that's hard because we don't feel like it's a mustard seed amount.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Like,
don't
because if
feel
he's
like it's
saying
just
that's
a
all
little.
it takes, to us it does. Like, I feel like mustard seed faith is like everything. Like, well, you just have to have this much faith, but then he would relate that to quitting your job, to
Right.
believing you're going to wake up in the morning. Like, I feel like that's how casually he said it.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Which is why having faith like a child,
Yeah.
like
They don't second guess it.
they don't have to think about it. They
Yeah.
just believe and they do it. Like they don't because they haven't. I guess they haven't like learned
Yeah.
to question things
They're not
or to
mature
be
yet.
worried.
They haven't
and
learned that life is hard.
right.
They just fully rely on their provider.
Dang.
Eek. You were saying something, Monkey.
That is crazy.
I know.
Faith like a child and faith like a
Wow.
mustard seed, I feel like are interchangeable
Yeah.
because they're both like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
Mustard seeds just kind of exist.
What's going through your head
I'm
right now?
stuck on that.
Kids just rely on their provider.
Oh.
Like they don't worry about anything
Anything.
because they know they're going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
They don't question it.
No, they're not worried about it.
They're not concerned about it. They know.
Like a kid with a trustworthy parent doesn't question if their parents going to
Every-
show up at school.
Yes.
Right.
They don't question if their
If they're
parents
going to have
give
food
them
on their
food.
table, if they're going to have a place to sleep at
Yeah.
night,
Gonna
like
be
they
protected.
don't question it because they have a good parent.
Yeah.
And
And we have the greatest of all,
Dang.
and we still
And we
stress
still-
if we lose a job.
We
We
think
still
it all
stress if our
falls
car
on
breaks
us.
down. Exactly.
dang.
Well, and then you think too, like when you think too, like when you start getting older, like you're like, oh, and you question your parents. But then,
Yeah.
like when you get even older, you're like, oh wait, maybe they did know what they were doing,
Yeah.
and it's like the same thing.
Or it's like when
we
you
look
move
back
out.
on it.
And you're like, you could not wait
Yeah.
to get away from your
Yes.
parents, and you're like, I just
coming
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
That is like you
Mom, how do I wash
stray.
the dishes again?
Yes, you stray from the Lord, and then
Yes.
you're like, wait, I don't remember how to function.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to function.
Yeah.
Kind of
Wild.
expensive out here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, it's costing me a lot to be in the world. Oh no.
Dang.
Yeah. That's so wild.
Man, I think there's something that comes from your maturity.
Mhm.
We were talking about childlike faith and how that correlates to a mustard seed, and that's where I'm going to keep this correlation. But when you are a child and you're with your parent, you're not questioning them. That doesn't happen until you become a teenager. And you're like,
Yeah.
ugh, why are you telling me all this stuff? I don't really want to do this because we're not mature. We're
Except for, like,
maturing,
Yeah.
but we start to get a little like too big for our britches, and you can't tell me what to do because I'm grown. And then we actually get grown, and we're like, you know what? Like Courtney was saying, like, no, you actually did know what was best. I'm sorry I questioned you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you look back on, not you, when I look back on things that the Lord has brought me from and the ways that my faith has been able to mature, it's like, wow, okay, Jesus, you really didn't know what was happening back then. Okay, I'm gonna stay in my lane from now on when it comes to that. I fully understand you, man. You got it. And I think it takes doing that in multiple aspects of our lives, not just in like our finances or with our families, but in everything. And that's wild.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's all I got.
That's okay. Yeah, I like something that kind of popped in my head too is like, why do we just settle just for like only faith size of a mustard seed? Like, why don't we try to strive for more faith, if that makes sense? Like putting, instead of like, okay, I'm gonna have only this size of faith and trust in you only this much, but yeah, it's still gonna grow into something more. Why don't we like fully put our faith and trust, knowing the same outcome will happen?
I think because we don't know the same outcome will happen. I think
Yeah.
that we
Well, I meant same outcome by like the
I think that's why he compared it to a
Yes.
mustard seed, because he knows that daily we can't have faith the size of a mountain.
right.
So like he needed to show us that
Dang.
like mustard seed faith is okay because
Right.
it will still grow to be 20 feet tall.
And it's still you're having that faith, you're still gonna be able to tell that mountain to move.
dang.
Because it feels, mustard seed faith
Yes.
can feel like a mountain.
Yes.
But in comparison, he's like, are you kidding me? Like all you did was quit your job.
That's
like
it.
it's not that big. And we're like, but I quit my job.
Yeah,
Yes. And Jesus
And he's
was
like,
hey,
in
but
the
I
grand
died.
scheme
Like,
of
all right.
Gosh, okay, we're really ending it this time. Like, oh my lord.
Like it's like comparing apples to literally anything else.
Yeah, like I don't think we ever view it as I'm only gonna have mustard seed faith. I
Yeah.
don't think we ever see it that way.
No.
But God's like, listen, if you are the only time that I think, at least in my like personal whatever, is like the only time that I feel like I would be like, okay, all I have is mustard seed faith is when like everything has gone wrong, like everything's happening, and you're like, God, you like, I don't feel like you've been doing anything recently. I only got this little bit left, and He's like, that's all I need.
That's it.
But like when you're doing okay,
Right.
you aren't thinking about, oh, I hope this is enough faith because everything's going fine.
And if he would have put in there, if you have faith the size of a mountain, we'd just be discouraged.
Right.
Yeah, like, why
Yeah.
can
We're
I do
never
that?
going to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
so why are we even trying? And so the fact that he is merciful enough to be like, okay, yes, I've done all of this stuff for you, but I'm only going to ask
Dang.
for faith
For
this.
that.
I'm only
Compared
asking
to
for
that's
that.
crazy.
Because he knows we're human and
Yeah.
we're not going to be able to. I mean, he created us,
Right.
and he knows.
He knows how we operate.
He knows.
And
how
I
we
think
operate.
that while he's asking for that, like you were saying, Ethan, it's not bad to go above that.
Right.
It's not one of those things like, oh, I can only have
Right.
faith the size of a
Oh, I'm about to have
mustard
too much faith.
I'll save that for later.
Can't have too
We'll
much
have to
faith in
split
this
this up.
aspect. let me come back to it.
You have like a whole sheet. You're like, okay, so
Yes.
I'm gonna put this here.
That's
That's how much I have for each day.
I'm gonna have
That's
enough
too
faith
much.
that this $5 in my gas tank is gonna be enough. But I'm also gonna spread my faith over here and believe that this sandwich is gonna be enough for me today or my lunch break, even though I'm gonna go home and eat some more. And that's not what the Lord is saying. He's saying, okay, this is good faith, and this is good faith. This is the faith of a mustard seed,
Right.
even though it feels like, I don't know,
Yeah.
a mountain.
Yeah. And I think it's Paul wrote it. I can't remember where. I think it's in
Love
2
Paul.
Corinthians or 1 Corinthians, one of the two. It says like
One of
that
those Corinthian
that one of the
letters.
5th Corinthians. One of the like spiritual gifts are like the gift of great faith, like someone being able to like maintain that like a great faith. And I feel like that's almost like faith the size of a mountain. Like that's the way, now that I'm like hearing everything, I'm like kind of piecing things together in my brain.
Yeah.
So where does the mustard seed ones? Oh, I'm just a mustard seed
I was
one.
gonna say, speak for yourself.
But are you?
Am
I don't know.
I know.
Don't
It's a
know.
life to live, man.
There's like a meter. You get like some minutes gone.
Yeah.
5 to 10 business days. I'll tell you how much faith that was.
It's like in Monsters Inc. where they do like the scream thing. It fills up the tank. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put you through this. Let's see. Oh, okay, only
You're
one
like,
bar.
I have-
That's a mustard seed one. He goes over there.
Like, I only have $20. I hope this is enough for gas, but also Starbucks because the Lord provides. And then he's like, yeah, everybody.
I mean, you're right, but
He's like, I told you that it was for gas, and that was zero faith. And you're like,
You asked for money for gas. You found $20, and what did you do? You put like $3 in your gas tank, and then you went.
You
to
kept the
Starbucks. That's it.
$17 to spend
Yeah.
at Starbucks.
Yeah, that's it.
That's wild.
That's
I'm
crazy.
spending $17
Throughout the week.
Oh, people
That's
do it at
crazy.
work.
Yeah, it's easy
just
to do it over there.
themselves?
It's easy to do it there.
easily.
I spend $17 on Chick-fil-A.
Because if you get food,
Mhm.
coffee,
Oh my.
that in itself.
A medium
is-
coffee and a breakfast sandwich over there is like $11.
Dang, that's crazy.
I know because that's what I did like 2 weeks ago. for
But it's like average pricing now.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I
it's
thought you were
different
gonna
'cause-
say it's average like food. I was like,
It's
dang.
like-
No, I was
food
about
is
to say,
meat.
and it's different because like we don't just pull it out of a freezer and pop it in the
Right.
microwave. Like,
Exposed.
They've got a stove and everything.
it's all
It's great.
made. Yeah, they make it all there.
To be exposed.
I like other places.
Oh, I
I'm
was
like, yeah,
like,
you guys want to
She
freeze
just
it? We
talked
don't.
about how they made it.
He's got freeze food and we done. What you got, Rocky?
Nothing.
Yeah, because I thought you looked like you were thinking.
That's what I thought too. Rocky's like, no, I was not. I was not. Man, just looking at those mustard seeds is wild. That's crazy.
They look very tiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man.
Like they look like crumbs. Like
Yes.
someone
Yeah,
just
I was about to say that's
like
what I was
you
like
throw them
thinking
in the
about.
trash. Like,
Imagine, like, where are they?
Man.
You don't know how bad I would just want to put one in this
Mm.
table.
and
That's
just
wild.
plant it.
Just water, add some dirt and everything.
It's not in the moistest.
Well, I mean it.
Yeah.
Man. And I'm still stuck on that. That's what it takes for that to start.
In a cold environment.
Cold environment and wet soil. Like, nobody wants that. No one wants to be cold.
Okay, I read this the other day. Like, and this all just kind of like tied it together. But a cold environment is like being at like rock bottom.
Yeah.
And sometimes God lets us get to rock bottom or puts us at rock bottom to understand. This does not come from me, but it's so good to understand that He is the rock at the bottom.
Okay, and
That's
see,
valid.
I think it's interesting that you took it that way because I took it in the way that the parable talks about.
Yeah.
And in order to grow the kingdom of heaven, we have to find the coldest,
cold soil.
darkest places.
Yeah.
And ourselves.
No,
In the world.
In the world. That's
Oh.
what Jesus did.
Yeah.
In ourselves. That's what I took it as.
I can do that.
I was like, what else is wrong
No,
with
like
you?
that's what I took it as.
You can't have
I
it
was
unless you
still
have cold, dark
thinking.
places left.
But that's valid.
Because I was still
Yes.
thinking of the parable, and that's what Jesus said. He
Dang.
went to the people with the coldest hearts,
Yeah.
the people in the dark places that nobody wanted to even associate with, and that is who he found to grow the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
And that
Lepers,
is
the
what,
adulterers.
and that is what we literally right here.
Yeah.
It's like a
That's
mustard
so
seed,
crazy.
and that's how mustard seed grows.
That's wow. That's crazy.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
That is how it
that's how you,
starts.
That
that's
is
what
the
you have to plant
germination.
it in.
That's
That
where
is
the roots
what
are.
you
That
have to
is
plant it
so
in.
That's it.
wild.
That's how the
It's
roots grow is in
insane.
those places.
Not in the pretty places that everyone wants to
All
be
these
in.
big old churches with all these
Yeah.
fancy lights and sound and this, that, and the
Not-
third.
That's not.
That's wild.
That's so crazy because we can go back to last. Well, yeah, we can go back to last last episode.
Lazarus.
Yeah, let's go back to Lazarus. Bring him up.
We can take it back to
Blot him out.
to last episode of like
Crazy.
where's our roots or like where's our seed being planted, and about like the rocky soil and the footpath and that like
You don't remember that?
No.
you don't remember last episode?
Mm-mm.
You were here. Yeah, you were here.
I know I was here.
Of like
But I
the
feel
Different
like-
type of soil that your heart.
yeah the soil like it's like the good soil and then like the bad soil.
Yes.
With
I
the
do remember that.
vines.
Yes. No,
Yeah.
I remember that. But for some
Like like squeeze them to death. You know what I meant.
reason, I was like, okay, but that was like a season ago. No, that was literally the first.
That was literally yeah.
What do we do? Second episode.
What do we?
That's okay. Okay.
But like
I was like, that was so long ago. That was so far, that was so far
Yeah.
away.
like we take it back to like the example I just said, like churches who only do things.
I was gonna say far away. and I stopped.
She was gonna say so far away, but she goes, that was just so long ago. And I thought she was gonna add a word in there, and I was like, on the podcast?
Okay, explicit is on in this.
All I heard was, that was so long ago. And I was like,
So your mouth has been blurred and my knee has been blurred. This is an insane season right here.
Welcome to season 2, everybody.
It's only episode 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I
But,
don't want to say so far away because I felt like a distance, and it's okay. I just
It's fine.
overthought my own words. Keep going, Ethan. I'm so sorry.
From our
I'm
knees
so
being out.
Um,
It's the conviction of the Lord.
yeah,
When I
right.
got here, I feel like
No way. From putting your knee on the bottom.
He's like,
I'm
take
gonna
this.
go get a modesty cloth and this.
Yeah.
Imagine. That's
I lost my
sorry,
train of-
Ethan.
no, I lost my
I'm
train of
sorry.
thought.
It'll come back.
Oh yeah. Like okay, so like if we use the example, I'm not going to say all churches do this or anything like that, but if there's like a church who only cares about just like
Inward work.
inward work, yes, of like, all right, I'm gonna get people in, and then not like the evangelical side of it of like, okay, bring people to the church, but like just getting people in your building to fill up the place, to put on a concert, and then to preach a motivational message, and then everybody leaves. Like, I'm not saying their hearts are not like, where are their hearts at with it? What soil is those seeds like going into people's hearts that are there type thing? You know what I mean? And yeah, that's like what I got from when we were talking about the whole like dark places or like the cold dark places, and like that's where it starts. Yeah.
I think in in that aspect, I don't know if people. Ooh,
I just got the shivers too.
See it?
Conviction.
What am I getting convicted about? I better start praying. I'm gonna start walking. If people like skip ahead, I'm missing.
Ethan's praying. It's fine.
You're gonna see like in the background, right? They're like,
I'm just like,
kneeling down.
please.
Like sobbing. And we're just
Imagine. You guys are just talking hands like, God's getting them.
I'm like, we'll address this on the podcast.
I don't know.
We're like, and for $2.99, you can see the results of this.
You see Ethan's deliverance live right here.
Oh,
But in reference,
that'd be
in
wild.
reference to that, I don't know if people recognize the kind of soil that they're in. They may think they're in good soil. And I think that when we talk about going to the cold places, the wet places, those places that are like what we consider to be dark, the people we're going to be reaching probably don't see it as dark. They see that as just like, this is my home, man. And how are you going to come to me and be like, this place is dark and cold?
'Cause that's what they're
and
used to.
not
That's what they're-
suitable. So when we're going there, our focus should be not in telling them, like, maybe not telling them. Surely we wouldn't tell them. But not making
I came here because this place, man. I don't know what to do with you. What did Jesus say? And how long must I be with you?
we're not going to go in saying that kind of
Surprise.
thing. What up, girls?
Imagine like no one else was gonna come here.
No.
So someone had to do it.
Yes. But
I drew the short straw. Sorry.
surely we're not going to go into things like that. But if we're not careful, that can be the air that we give off when we go into those places.
Yeah.
We'll go in like not even meaning to, but with a holier than thou aspect because
I've been
we
sent to
know
save
yes, and we haven't been sent to do that. We've been sent to share the Lord. We can do no saving. That's not us. That's not our job.
We lead them to salvation. We do not do the salvation.
We're just there to share, man. That's it.
Because we can't even
Period.
lead all the time.
No.
Because, like,
Well, not all the time,
Lord
but
has
there's
We
to
are
definitely-
just there to
prepare
share.
them.
Yeah.
Period. That's it.
But if you're in the spot where you're picking the fruit off the tree, that's like you could be in that spot where you're leading them.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
not my job.
Go ahead.
I just had a
Miss-
thought.
Oh, a thought.
Like
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
when a mustard seed is planted in the soil,
Okay.
it's put in a place that it wasn't originally. Like it wasn't there.
Yeah.
But the soil, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's good.
The soil, dang it, I just had it and I lost it.
I thought she was going to say it like that loud. I was like, dang.
No.
She preached it. Kayla hits her with one of these.
I was like, you got it.
The soil embraces the seed because it's there.
Wow.
Because
That's valid.
and like that's
yeah.
what I
Because it
got
was
is
made
like
for
okay
you.
we
Because it
like
was, yeah.
Yes.
because we go to places that okay we don't come from this place
Yeah.
and maybe some people do but
the seed
we're
that
not
we
there
have.
anymore we're not there anymore
Yeah.
and to go back to a place But when we do it the correct way and the way that Jesus is telling us to, they will embrace the word that we have, and they will embrace the Lord, and because they will embrace us because we are projecting the Lord. And so in this sense, then they're embracing what we have. And
That's crazy.
Okay, but to go back to what you just said literally 2 seconds ago, these seeds came from a mustard seed that was planted. That came from that kind of soil.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we are called. I don't want to say called back to, but our hearts are toward certain people because somehow, some way,
That is something
we are
came
coming
from that.
from
Yes.
that.
we
And
grew
we
from
know-
that.
Yes.
We grew from that.
So we know how to go back to them and be like, okay, let me share with you how I got out of this. Let me share with you how the Lord literally picked me up after I was planted here.
my God.
Picked me up
to
and
start
allowed me
singing.
to grow.
He said, "Turn me."
Imagine.
He starts like,
But yes, I think that has made so much sense in my brain that we will go back to these cold places. We will go back to these dark places that we came from, essentially. Maybe it's not the same place. We're not being planted back in the same place we grew from, but we're being planted in similar places. We're being planted in similar soil that will embrace us.
Yeah.
Because there is something about us. It's the Jesus in us that they are
We are
wanting.
reflecting him.
Yes.
Okay, you said this.
I said a lot.
You said the mustard seed comes
The
from the
mustard
tree, the shrub. Going back to what we talked about at the very beginning,
We're making
birds
it make
come
sense.
and make nests in branches. Where do they get the stuff from? The tree
From the tree.
that
From the tree. I don't know.
I don't know. That's
I'm not a bird enthusiast. I don't know.
imagine.
Kayla's
Suddenly
like,
I'm
well,
like, and
according-
here's all of these
according to
facts
this.
that I have.
It's like, well, only these birds like make nests, and we're like, okay.
It's like a blue jay, and you're like, wrong.
Nope.
That one's red.
Eagles.
But I don't know where they get all of their stuff from to make nests, but I imagine not only is it coming from the trees around them, but maybe they bought their own stuff to make their nests. And that's
Or
why,
from the other.
yes, from everywhere around, all
Dang.
around
Seed
them.
from one person, but then
Yeah.
they need the stuff to build it from other people.
Dang.
That's wild. That's wild.
That's crazy.
I love that.
See, like, there's so much that we can.
This
Get
went like
from-
way farther than I expected.
Yeah.
I literally saw
20
that
minutes in,
short
I was like,
amount.
weird.
When we
Weird.
when this is what we decided on, I went home last night and I was like,
2 whole verses.
oh, this is gonna be a short
Thanks for watching
episode.
after 20 minutes. Like you're just
Yeah.
saying.
That's what you just did.
When Natalie looked up,
Oh gosh, I'll have to show you the videos, man.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Because as soon as I did that, I knew you were going to say that. I'll show you
I'm
all the
actually
videos.
so embarrassed.
It is. It is.
You didn't even mean to. You just, yeah, I was like, oh wow, good job, Ethan. Wow. Okay. Focus. Lock in.
on
Yeah.
that.
Jeez.
Yeah, but like hey,
needs
this
mustard
two or three verses like that talks about this. There's so much that can come out of it. Like, and this parable and like the way the mustard seed is used just in the Bible in general is like I feel like is so important to us new believers to mature Christians. Is like that this is it is very important.
I think this is. I don't know. It's gonna come back. Sorry. I think this is seeing the Bible be. God is alive and now.
Oh boy.
But that's what I thought of, like to see it like this. And how many times have we read this parable in our lives and not gotten this much out of it? This is
That's so wild.
proof that the Word of God is alive and active.
Yeah.
That it's not changing, but meaning differently to us every time we read it. So
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for us.
I think the mustard seed like comparison is important for when you're ministering too, because like if if Ethan is going through something, he's like a brand new believer. He's like, I mean, I guess. I'm like, no, but you got to believe more than that. It's like, no, you don't.
Right.
Like, if they don't even seem like they're grasping the concept,
Right.
but they're like, I mean, yeah, God can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Yes,
all.
that's
That's
it.
all. That's all I needed is just to hear.
And not even, I'm gonna take it just a little step further. Not even just in being a new believer, but as a believer who maybe hasn't had to actually have faith in the Lord in a certain way. Like,
Like, well, that's not going to do it for you. Like,
right.
Okay, now they lost all their faith.
Right, for sure. If someone came to
We
me
were
and was
expecting
like,
to have
"Hey,
a mountain-sized
you
faith."
are a Christian and you are supposed to have this monumental faith that the Lord is going to do something that you haven't seen Him do before in your own life." Okay, but how? How is it okay for one person to have a mustard seed, but I am expected to have a whole mountain? How? How is that?
Or then we are okay with other people having a mustard seed. Like, that's
Right,
that's
like, yeah,
enough.
that's
But then
great.
for us, we're like,
No, you have to have more faith than that. You have to. But for why? The Lord is only requiring, not even requiring, asking that of us. Not just of unbelievers, not just of new believers, not just mature believers, of everyone. He's asking for faith like that because He can move in faith like that. Not that He can't move in the monumental, in the
but that's the start.
grand.
But yeah, I was gonna say that's the
grow
start. We
from
can
there.
we
Yes.
see Him move in this, and we're like, dang.
We can grow from that. I've never seen a mountain grow once it's grown. Not
Dang.
once. Never seen it. I also haven't looked.
But you know, it starts corroding.
Mountain tracker either.
Well, according to this,
I
like-
don't look at mountains every day either. Sorry about
but
it.
over
they're like
time,
I'm not a mountain
landslides and
enthusiast.
stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
over time
Mountain
it
breaks
becomes
down.
corroded. The rain hits it. What you just said,
And suddenly it's
landslides, crumbles down.
but when rain hits this, it grows. That's wild.
Dang,
That's crazy. We gotta end the podcast now.
that's so crazy.
That's wild right
That's
there.
so crazy. I could have. We joked about like standing up before we started the camera. I could have been. Yeah, I would have
We were
started
saying we were
running.
standing
Take
up
a
because
walk.
there wasn't room.
Well, you're about to take a walk. Yeah. Man, the Lord's got him. He'll be fine.
Morgan just got a time to stand when we get
It's time. Man, that's wild right there.
That is so good.
Dang.
This was good.
Yeah,
This was a good.
and I feel like I can keep going.
But it probably could.
Imagine we have 4 parts of the shortest one.
Oh my god.
Okay, but
Welcome back to
didn't that
season
happen to us
1,
already?
part 4.
Didn't that already happen to us already? We were like,
Yeah.
this is only going to take like 1 or 2 episodes. And then
And
suddenly we're
then-
like, what? 17 episodes later.
Literally. Yeah.
It's whenever we talk about faith.
Because we
It
had a
is
faith.
whenever we talk about faith.
We had a faith part 2, didn't we?
Faith like 25.
Yeah.
We had
faith
freedom.
and freedom.
Freedom.
We had 4 freedoms,
Mm-hmm.
2 faiths. The goodness of God could have kept on going too.
Something else I had in my poetry.
I was doing the same thing in my head, so that wasn't just me.
I can see because you said 4 freedoms, 2 faiths.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's good.
Man,
Welcome to What a Time musical.
sorry.
Imagine.
Every episode, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's good.
Man,
Anything else?
nah, player. I think I'm good.
I think I'm good.
I've shared all I think I need to share.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
going once, going twice.
Thank you so much for watching.
I was gonna say
Season 2.
Clear.
Season 2, episode 3 of the What a Time podcast. Real quick, how are we feeling about this whole parable thing? I'm loving it. I think it's cool.
I'm concerned that you're doing that in the middle of the outro.
I know.
It just kind of came to me.
It's the way that you're like.
that timing is
And also, I thought you were gonna say, and guys, what are our socials? Let me tell you. That's what I thought you were about to do,
You said
and
what?
that's not
Or what?
our socials.
Oh.
I thought that's what you were about to say. Like, and guys, guess what? We have socials. And then you said, what are we thinking about the parables? And I'm just.
Well, we
off my
can
game,
ask
man.
that question later.
No, it's too late. You already asked.
Speaking, oh yeah, I'm loving it.
Okay, can we do the outro?
It's like Kayla was mentioning, we do have socials, duh.
So many
and
socials.
we do have so many, and we have socials on. We have an Instagram, a Spotify, a YouTube, and a TikTok, and it's all
socials on all of those things.
all of them, and it's all at What a Time Podcast. Nice, simple and sweet. And then we also have an email.
An email.
We also have an email, and on our email, well, our email first of all is official.whatatimepodcast@gmail.com, and you are able to send us questions, comments, concerns, and
Funny jokes.
funny jokes. A reminder, we say it every episode, all funny jokes go to Kayla.
Yeah, can't wait. I'm
Can't
so
wait.
excited.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, also, when you guys send emails, you can reach out to us.
Yes.
Just send us fun comments. If you guys have any topics you want us to do, anything you think would be interesting for us to talk about, yeah, you guys can send that.
Any new games?
Yeah, new games. Jinx. Just kidding.
Imagine if we actually did that in an episode and like Caitlin.
I bring in Monopoly next week. So this parable, I told you would
Start screaming through everybody's
yes. It'd be like Jesus.
We're talking about Jesus flipping tape.
Probably cheated edition where
So-
we're just like taking money. Sorry.
I'll go ahead and close us in prayer.
Oh, lit. Okay.
So, Father, we just thank you. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk about the things we talked about tonight and just be able to share your word on the platform that you have blessed us with. God, I thank you that you just inputted these bits of knowledge into us that we are able to share and talk about amongst each other. Lord, I just ask that you just use this episode as our mustard seed and to plant it in the people's hearts that needed to hear it the most, Lord Jesus, and grow it in the way that you want it to, on your timing and in your will, Father. Jesus, again, we thank you just for all that you have done for us, and again, just a platform that you have blessed us with, Lord. And yeah, in your name I pray. Amen.
Before we cut it off, I got a thought as you were praying. You guys can also send prayer requests.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody,
Yes.
if y'all just don't want to post them in the comments, but like, if y'all need prayer for anything, we are. I'll speak for everybody. We're a group of praying people, so
Real.
we are more than excited to join you in prayer. So
Absolutely.
that's it. That's just a thought I had while you were listening. So
Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all season 2, episode 4.
yes.